Hi, my name is Michael Morris, and in this video presentation, you're going to see how a simple system built from scrappy parts will help you slash your monthly power bill by 60 or even 70% starting from this week. What I will show you is the latest technology used in electric cars. One of the biggest issues in the past was storing large amounts of electricity for cheap. This has been solved recently, allowing the launch of a new generation of electric cars capable to go for 370 miles with just one 20-minute charge. For having this kind of range in the past, some would have had to get a truck full of batteries following behind the electric car. The size of the batteries was huge compared to the modern solution. This technology has been kept guarded before, but a big electric car manufacturer decided to release the patents of his new technology to the general public. This allowed studying the entire setup by more experts to help finding new ways to use the ability of storing large amounts of electricity. One of the applications was building a large enough battery to store electricity for your home. You see, an electric car can store up to 85 kilowatts-hour of power. That will allow running your home for up to 2 days without depending on the grid, and the battery gets fully charged in less than 30 minutes. Taking the same battery design from an electric car, they built a device called Powerwall. It's basically a battery which gets mounted on a wall and provides electricity for the entire home during any type of blackouts. This system can be also charged by solar panels or other type of electricity generators. It's truly an amazing technology which is going to revolutionize the way people see electricity consumption. One major drawback of the Powerwalls is that even if the new technology allows storing large amounts of electricity in a smaller space, the commercial solution is still too expensive for most of the families to afford it. To give you some perspective, a 30 kilowatt Powerwall will set you back $5,000 to $9,000, depending where you live, and it will take up to 12 months for this to get delivered and installed in your home because of the big waiting list. All the rich people are getting a Powerwall installed to benefit from electricity in case the grid fails. In the next 5 minutes, I will reveal a secret that not many know about the technology that is behind the new type of batteries which flooded the market in the past few years. But before that, let me tell you a short story about how I got to know so much about electric cars without owning one, and why I am so obsessed about the new trend in energy storage. Like I mentioned before, my name is Michael. Friends call me Mike. I live in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and I'm a car mechanic. I own a small car repair shop for 20 years now, and I fix all sorts of problems related to electric components especially. 20 years ago, we had a handful of electric parts in cars. Nowadays, every new car has literally its own brain which controls everything, from door opening to providing the spark signal with a nanosecond of precision. This is insane for me. But slowly and surely, I started learning how to deal with the new technology and kept being updated so I don't go out of business. A few years back, I assisted a tragedy which changed the way I look at the services we pay for, especially electricity. We became so dependent that 90% of the things around us needs electricity to function. It's all good until it's not good anymore. In the winter of 2013, that all changed.
Tonight, one of the worst ice storms in years stretches from Texas to Pennsylvania. It's blamed for at least 3 deaths. More than 300,000 homes and businesses have lost power in Dallas alone. Manuel Bajorquez is there.
Utility crews in Texas and Arkansas tried to knock heavy ice off power lines before they snapped from the weight. The air so cold, steam lifted from Lake Superior.
I woke up shivering in my room. It was so damn cold. As my senses returned and I got up, I realized that the thermostat was probably not working, but I did set it last night. My wife wasn't there on the bed either, probably chilling by the fireside, and left me to die. I giggled as I thought about it. Hurriedly, I went to the digital thermostat in the hall. It was not displaying anything. I rushed off to check the main circuit, only to realize that we were facing a power breakdown. The window displayed a complete blackout outside in the middle of a blizzard. Our house had got cold so fast. But where was everybody, I wondered. The stairs squeaked as I silently started to go upstairs to check on my daughter. Meanwhile, the electric company left my third call unanswered and gave me goosebumps. As I opened the door to her room, my feet froze. Amber, my wife, lay there, wrapping herself around our 7-year daughter. They had every possible blanket covering them, yet Linda was crunching her teeth due to the cold, sending chills down my back. I dashed towards them. Is she okay? I could see her tears frozen half on their way. She signaled me, and in a futile attempt, I took Linda in my lap, trying to relieve her pain from my body heat. It was at that moment that my heart stopped, and tears began to stream uncontrollably down my face too. Linda was not moving at all. "Honey, I don't want to lose our daughter," Amber whispered, and it was probably the most devastating moment in my life. I felt so powerless, being able to do nothing. Fury overtook me as I realized I had my entire life, my wife and daughter, at the mercy of an electric company. "Honey!" My wife's shout brought me back. "She's not breathing!" she screamed. That's when blood boiled through my veins, and I knew something had to be done. I handed over Linda to Amber, asking her to come to the lounge while I hurried off. Mustering all my energy, I rubbed the pieces of wood together and made sure a flame was lit. Then quickly, I poured drops of petrol. We sat by the fireside and I started CPR on my daughter. What followed were probably the most dreadful minutes of my life. But miraculously, Linda took a breath and her body temperature slowly came back to normal. I decided right then and there that I would never put my wife or daughter Linda in that situation again. When the power was finally restored about 2 days later, I immediately began researching every single energy alternative I could find. Clearly, relying on the electric company wasn't an option anymore. Not only did their power lines always seem to go down during bad storms, but they've been absolutely price gouging me for more than a decade. Over the past 6 months, I've devoted virtually every free moment of my time to helping 32,467 honest, hardworking, and liberty-loving Americans just like you break free from the long tentacles of big electricity and discover how to store electricity 10 times cheaper than before. This allows saving 60 to 70% of your power bill with a simple and effective solution. Using the same simple method, I'm going to reveal to you later in this video, Matthew Wells of Essex, Maryland, recently sent me a letter saying, "In the first 30 days, I saved $180 from my power bill. My bill was $217 per month, and my last one was just $37. It's impossible to overstate how much this extra money has made things easier for my family." And Ken McKean of Toledo, Ohio writes, "I live in a crowded neighborhood, and you should have seen how the neighbors stared at me as I opened the electricity invoice since using your method. I was literally cackling like the Wicked Witch of the West out there. But I don't care. The joke's on them because I got to pay $10 that month from using your solution instead of $290 that I usually paid." Matthew and Ken are just two of the thousands of people who have written me over the last year, telling me how thrilled, elated, and even sometimes flabbergasted they are by the simple truth of how easy it is to use the storage solution, shutting the door in the face of greedy corporations and keeping their families warm and protected. The way this system saves you money is this: 70 to 80% of the money you pay on electricity is during peak hours. That's when the electricity gets double or even triple the price compared with nighttime when there's not much power usage. The electricity storage box will charge during nighttime and provide the needed electricity during peak hours. This creates the much-needed balance in energy usage that's required to spread the electricity usage evenly during 24 hours. And after a year of obsessive research, studying, designing, and making prototypes, I finally created the plans for the electricity storage box so elegantly simple, every American could easily put one in their home. I named it the Tyranny Liberator. It's based on recycled laptop batteries, connected in an ingenious modular fashion, which allows adding more modules to the system as you build them. You can install this unit in any place you want. The best part is that you will see immediate returns from the moment you connect it. It takes less than 2 days to build. The design was made to be simple so that newbies or the elderly would have no problem putting it together. Total construction cost is less than $250. Most people will be able to build one for less than $90 using parts they already have in their homes or can find at the local junkyard. Any pieces you do need to purchase can be found by driving down the street to your local hardware store. It's entirely scalable. You can generate substantial savings. The unit is usually mounted on the outside walls, not taking any usable space at all. I poured through thousands of blueprints and made constant improvements to them until I was 100% positive that this is a 100% safe and clean device. You can see the savings right away on your meter. You don't need to have a science degree to make this happen. All you need is the will to build this project and put it into function. But most important of all, you'll save enough money so you won't have to scream at your children to turn off the lights when they leave a room, or shiver in the winters as your thermostat stays set at a frigid 65 degrees. That's exactly what happened to John Salinas from Tucson, Arizona, who writes, "I'm still in shock at how well this works. I live in the hot, stinky desert, which is not exactly a Garden of Eden. I run 2 of these units, and I was able to cut my bill entirely, and after I got the proper meter to sell the energy back into the grid, I started making $327.30 each month by running these units at 80%. I'm very happy with the results." And Alan Belding of Bozeman, Montana, who says, 5 years ago, I would have called you crazy if you said the first day of the month would be one of my favorites. Now I look forward to it like a kid on Christmas. I live in an apartment, so I have limited space. At the beginning of every month, I get my check for $154, sometimes more. I use the money to take my wife and daughter out to a steak dinner. It's quickly becoming one of our favorite family traditions. Soon, I was sharing my blueprints with friends and family. I wanted to help liberate them from the tyranny of energy companies like General Electric, which is the parent company of almost every electric company in the U.S., making over $124 billion each year, the majority of it from preying on honest, hard-working Americans. But I also wanted to make dead sure that this was something anyone could build, no matter what their skill level or ability. And as the results kept pouring in, and I kept hearing over and over again that this worked, that it had been built in less than 2 days. From people like my cousin Ronald, a city boy who lives about 10 minutes outside of downtown Boston, that he had built his system capable to handle his entire home in under 1 day. I finally knew it was time to share my designs with you and other liberty-loving patriots who are tired of feeling enslaved to powerful and sinister criminal interests. So today, I'm making the Tyranny Liberator available to you. The Tyranny Liberator is a comprehensive system giving you everything you need to save on your power bill in a matter of days. You'll receive step-by-step video guides showing you in detail how to build your own Tyranny Liberator setup from the ground up. It's like having a master craftsman in the room with you. Just watch what I do, copy me, and your device is practically built for you. You'll get a comprehensive materials list covering exactly what you need and where you can get it. Remember, the majority of assembly pieces are either already in your yard or garage, or at a mouse click this very moment. Your total cost for construction is less than $250 and may well be under $100. You'll find out where you should build your Tyranny Liberator and how one microscopic adjustment can double the amount of money it saves. I'll provide a copy of my blueprints too. Print out these illustrated instructions and keep them nearby while you're building. Literally anyone can build this. When I was making your blueprint, your materials list, and your start-to-finish video guides, I pictured it was for someone who never kept a hammer in his hands. That meant it had to be so simple, so painless, that even he could build the Tyranny Liberator setup in a matter of hours. Imagine what it will be like to have the heater set to 77 degrees on a cold winter day, to have chicken cutlet baking in the oven, to run warm bath water for your daughter as she gets ready to go to bed. Even as others in your neighborhood are bundled together wearing layer upon layer of clothing, seeing their breath in the frigid air as they try to sleep. My word is as strong as oak. All you have to do is follow the Tyranny Liberator video instructions and your step-by-step guide, and no matter what your age, physical condition, ability, or know-how, you will be able to create your own money-saving device, completely backing you up in case the grid fails, with enough money to actually not care about the big electricity cartels. So how do you get started with your own Tyranny Liberator? At this point, you likely realize how game-changing the Tyranny Liberator is. You probably also want to know how much you have to invest to get the step-by-step video guides and blueprints which will allow you to build it yourself. There are other money-saving solutions, to be sure, but I have completely reinvented it, drastically reducing the building costs so those with limited resources can have one. making it 1,000% more dependable than any other generator in existence, and designing it to be made simply from a handful of parts that cost under $250. There are alternatives, of course, but you already know they aren't real solutions. You could pay $5,000 to hire an installation company to come put solar panels on your roof. It'll take them several weeks to do that at over $60 per hour per person in added labor, making your true cost closer to $10,000 or more.
Wow.
Or you could rely on a gasoline power generator. But to run your air conditioning or heat, your water heater, your electricity, your stove, and appliances, you're looking at somewhere around 10 gallons per day. So even if you somehow have a 20-gallon drum of gasoline sitting around your home, which is extremely dangerous by the way, you'd still only have power for 2 days. So take a moment to think about the conversation we're having right now. Ultimately, your biggest concern isn't money. It's about keeping your family warm, fed, and protected. It's about being certain of their survival and of meeting their every need. This is about freedom. It's about turning the tables. It's becoming entirely self-reliant, not dependent on the government or the corporations desperate to turn your family into a bunch of little numbers found at the bottom of a profit and loss sheet. It's having access to electricity at the right price. And it's about taking the step today that protects your family from that corporate greed for decades or even centuries to come, even as the price of gasoline and electricity continues to explode. You don't want to be sitting in front of your computer 10 years from now and suddenly remember this video. You don't want to have that moment where you realize that you could have become free of your grid dependence instead of struggling mightily to pay your $350, $750, or $1,050 power bill every month. The normal retail price for Tyranny Liberator is $99.97, and both my family and every single one of the 32,467 people who have already tried it tell me that I'm insane for pricing it so low. I mean, think about it. Assuming your monthly bill is a modest $150 per month. Over the last decade, you have given the energy companies $18,000. If you live in a larger home and your cost is $350 a month, it's a staggering $42,000. The very first month I built and used my Tyranny Liberator, my power bill dropped from $413.16 per month to $0, actually making me a profit of little under $100 using my smart meter. Even if I'm off, which over 32,000 people have made clear I'm not, what if you only cut your bill by 20%? If your monthly power bill is a low $150, you'd still save $360 in the next year, $3,600 over the coming decade. Enough to pay for a semester of college for one of your children or grandchildren at most state schools. And given that energy prices are rising, it's more likely that savings is much closer to $7,000. $99.97 should seem like the deal of a century. But after a lifetime of battling the power company demons and being viciously attacked by big companies like Monsanto and finally breaking free from it all, having hundreds of extra dollars every month in saved money, and being able to give my wife and children the clothing, food, and toys they deserve, I honestly believe I have a moral duty to put a Tyranny Liberator in every American's home. 4 months ago, when I put out a 3-day coupon for Tyranny Liberator, taking $20 off and selling it for $77.97, so many people hit buy that it literally crashed this website. Now, I learned my lesson from that one and upgraded my web hosting dramatically, but I'm still nervous. You've stuck with me this far, and I see how serious you are about taking this vital step towards not only saving 70% or more off your power bill every month, but also ensuring the safety and comfort of your family no matter what happens in the future. So, for a limited time only, you can get Tyranny Liberator and shaving tens of thousands of dollars off your power bill over the coming years, actually getting paid for the power you consume and preserving the safety of your family. For just $49.97, but you have to act right now. And because I really want you to know how deeply and sincerely I'm fighting for you, if you invest in Tyranny Liberator right now and only during this special reduced price window, you'll also receive unrestricted support for life. Over 32,000 people have already proven how simple building your own Tyranny Liberator really is. But I do realize that there are always going to be people who have questions or who want to discuss the best building location or ask about tips for increasing money output even more. Which is why, if you act today, I will give you my personal email address, along with 24/7 access to an entire support team. Honest Americans I've hired for the sole purpose of helping you. If there is ever a moment when you're unsure of something or have a question, simply shoot my team an email and we will immediately work with you to get it answered. You'll never feel stuck or like you're unsure what to do, or be left wondering if the modification you've decided to make is safe or not. All it takes to have the step-by-step video guides, your full-color building blueprint and instructions, your materials list, cheat sheet, and lifetime support is click that big Add to Cart button directly below this video. No doubt, by now, you can feel the sense of excitement that's creeping from your bones, realizing that there is finally a real alternative to paying the power companies a 125% markup on each kilowatt of energy you use. All that's standing between you and total independence is that big Add to Cart button right below. Break through the wall by clicking on it now and take what you deserve. What's your God-given right? Simply enter your credit card or PayPal information in our secure payment processing form, which you'll find on the next page. Then you'll get the videos, blueprints, everything as an immediate download. There are only 3 button clicks standing between you and your freedom. I'll guarantee this changes your life forever. I realize that our economy is still reeling from Wall Street's greed and that we're all pinching pennies. I know that while investing $49.97 to save thousands is obviously a winning proposition, every purchase you make needs to be weighed carefully, which is why I've decided to put my money where my mouth is by offering you a 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't save money on your power bill or are unsatisfied for any reason at all, you don't pay a dime. This is how it works. Just click the Add to Cart button below. You'll be following in the footsteps of the 32,467 other Americans who have already made the decision to build their Tyranny Liberators. Download your package, watch the video guides, print out your step-by-step instructions, go spend 30 minutes gathering up the materials. If at any point during the next 60 days you are unhappy, if for some reason you don't save drastically on your next power bill, or even if you only save 17% and wanted to save more, simply send me an email and I'll refund your purchase immediately. No questions asked, no hassles given. Look, growing up in a small rural community, I learned early on that a man's word was only as good as his actions. I know with utter conviction that the only reason I deserve your hard-earned money is if I have given you a product of total, overwhelmingly high value. And yes, I do feel pretty cocky with this guarantee too. I've seen firsthand the tens of thousands of people who are now getting checks for anywhere between $20 to $350 paid directly to them every single month. Plus, I've heard countless stories from those I've helped, all telling me how easy it is to build the Tyranny Liberator, how it only takes a weekend to make, how it costs less than $250 to build, how most of the parts can be found in the garage. All you have to do to get started is push the big shiny Add to Cart button below right now. Then you click Submit on the next page and download on the page after that. That's it. Then it's yours. The key to saving 70% or more on electricity for life. But you really must act now. Last time I discounted the price on Tyranny Liberator, it crashed my entire website. I'm not making that same mistake twice. I've already set it so that after a small handful of people receive the special discount, the offer goes back up to $99.97. Ultimately, though, the decision is yours. There are really only 3 choices you can make. The first is not to act. This video is about to end, and then you'll be left staring at the computer screen. You could just leave after and try hard to forget about what you saw when your next power bill for $175 comes in the mail. You can feel the guilt of knowing that you're not truly doing everything in your power to provide for your family. The second is to try to build your own Tyranny Liberator. It can be done, but there are huge problems. There are very few step-by-step guides online. Those that exist are highly technical and assume you have at least 60 feet of space with which to build yours. They also often require you to spend thousands of dollars just to learn them. And if you're going to do that, why wouldn't you just invest the $49.97 instead? Which brings you to your third choice. Get Tyranny Liberator today at absolutely zero risk to you. Join the ranks of over 16,000 American families, over 32,000 people in total, and by tomorrow you could be generating massive amounts of income with no maintenance required. You'll be one of a select group of people who will ever get Tyranny Liberator for such a low price, and you'll be covered for a full 2 months by my 100% no questions asked money-back guarantee. You'll have lifetime access to 24/7 support, so you'll never feel frustrated if you have a question and need an answer. All you have to do is click the Add to Cart button below this letter and make a decision that has literally no downside and an upside of $20,000 or more in savings over the coming years. This video is ending in 30 seconds, and the choice is yours. What you've seen today is about more than just saving money or forcing getting paid by those huge corporations. Those parts are important, but there's more to it than that. It's about providing for those you love, of reclaiming what's yours as an American, the unalienable right of freedom. It's about not being a slave or being controlled and manipulated by profit-hungry monopolies, and able to hedge against both the rapidly rising cost of energy and the rapidly declining stability of the U.S. society. It is your chance to be your own man, a leader who protects, defends, and keeps safe all the ones he cares for. Act now. This is your very last chance. Click the Add to Cart button right this moment and join the swelling ranks of U.S. patriots who have had enough of big government, big energy, and the lies they tell to keep both us and our money in their pockets. I look forward to hearing from you after you've built your very own Tyranny Liberator. Don't forget that after you've made the investment, you'll have access to my personal email address and that of the entire team. If you have any questions or just want to share your own success story, please feel free to reach out to me right away. Thank you for watching this video. This has been Mike. Still there? I know that sometimes it can be scary to take that first step. Even though you'd love to be slashing your electricity bill by 70% or more on month 1, you still have questions. To help you feel fully confident in your Tyranny Liberator investment, let me take a minute or two here to address the answer to some of the most common questions people ask. How much will I save? The exact amount you save will depend on several factors, including how many modules you add to your system, the size of your home, and the amount of electricity you normally run in your home. Our average customer saves about $174 per month off their bill, though others with larger houses have saved significantly more. How much money will my Tyranny Liberator produce? Just like above, the amount of money produced will depend on one factor, namely the size of your device and the contract you create with your power company to sell electricity back into the grid. It is more than possible to produce $50 per day with a large enough system. How do I fuel my Tyranny Liberator? The coolest part about your Tyranny Liberator is that it works with regular electricity straight from the grid. What's maintenance like? There's very little maintenance. You simply check the battery capacity every 2 to 3 years, and that's all. You'll see in the videos how simple it is to check battery capacity. Will it work in the city? Yes, as long as you have a small place on the wall where to install it. Is it hard to build? Not at all. When I was designing this, I made it so simple that anybody could build it on his own. There's very little physical labor, so even the elderly or those with a bad back or even an ailment should have no problem making it. The average build time is about 1 weekend. What's included again? Inside, you'll get my comprehensive step-by-step video guide showing you exactly how to build your own Tyranny Liberator setup. I made these videos with an over-the-shoulder approach, so it's basically like I'm there in the room building it with you. You'll also get the system blueprints, full color step-by-step directions, and the full materials list. Plus, your purchase today comes with unlimited lifetime support. You can email my team or me anytime you have a question, and we'll promptly respond to you. How do I order? Simply click on the Add to Cart button you see below. You'll then be taken to our 100% secure checkout page where you'll enter your payment information. After you've completed your order, you'll have access to my special members-only area where you can instantly stream or download the video guides along with the blueprints, instructions, and materials list. You'll also get access to all of my contact information from this page as well. Is there a guarantee? Yes. Once you place your order, you have a full 60 days to pour through the videos, blueprints, and instructions, and to build your Tyranny Liberator for yourself. If at any point you are unsatisfied or change your mind about this, simply send me an email and I will immediately refund your entire purchase. No questions asked.